Yo! What's up, fight fans? Welcome to another edition of Split Decision MMA, your weekly MMA podcast covering the wide world of mixed martial arts. We got your rumors, we got your news,
wide world,
your forum readings, fight predictions, recaps, all the good stuff about MMA that happened last week and going on this week. Coming to you live from the SinCal studios here inside SinCal Industries in Modesto, California. How's it going?
It's going good, man.
Yeah?
Dude, the living's easy in the 209 right now. This is the weather we pay taxes for. 73 degrees, light breeze. The cloud just came in. I'm feeling like getting in the boat and going fishing. I know the water's too cold, but so what?
Okay.
So what?
Split Decision brought to you by HealthLabs.com. HealthLabs.com providing you fast, private, and affordable blood work, all for MMA fighters for as low as $79. Order your tests. Choose one of the 4,500 local accredited labs. Get your results in 24 to 72 hours. It is that easy. No appointments needed, no insurance, no copay, no hidden fees. Fast, affordable blood work from HealthLabs.com. HealthLabs.com. If you are a fighter looking to get some blood work done for an upcoming fight, hit us up. We want to hook you up with some blood work.
But we are going to document what goes on.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Come talk to us and we'll talk to you.
Let's get into the news. Continuing the story from last week, Joe Soliz. Joe Soliz was that judge that was on the UFC 247 card that put in some weird scores. In the main event, we're talking about some other fights on the card. Remember at first everyone was saying this is a boxing guy who has no knowledge about MMA. He shouldn't be judging MMA. We'll come to find out, he trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where he actually earned his black belt under Eric Williams. Now, that might ring a bell, and it might not for a lot of you, but Eric Williams was actually the corner man and Jiu-Jitsu coach for Trevin Giles, who also fought at UFC 247. He won a split decision over James Krause.
I like the sound of that.
Do you?
The split decision.
Yeah, split decision. So, guess which judge swayed his way?
Yeah?
Mr. Joe Soliz. So James Krause,
the plot thickens,
is not happy with this. He says there's definitely a conflict of interest. And in fact, when reaching out to other referees, someone like Mr. Big John McCarthy, the dean of MMA refereeing, basically said, look, this is definitely a conflict of interest. In fact, when you go to apply for your judging and they show you the bouts, you're supposed to let them know, hey, I had prior training experience with this guy, or I go to the same gym as this guy, or I blah, 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 whatever it was.
So we have collusion in MMA?
There might be some collusion. So they are saying that he definitely should have
Fire
said
up Mueller.
something.
Fire up Mueller.
Should have definitely said something to the Athletic Commission about his background with Eric Williams, the fact that he was cornering and trained with, and actually Trevin Giles was even at his black belt ceremony. So it's not like they did not know each other. They just trained at the same gym. They've known each other for a while.
Crazy.
James Krause looking to appeal that. Very shady. Not looking good for the Texas Athletic Commission still allowing this to happen.
I don't know. Just the fact that you let it go to decision, I don't know.
There's more than one fight, though.
I know.
More than one fight.
But come on.
Can we
just move on, people?
One championship making headlines once again. King of the Jungle, which is going down February 28th in Singapore, is going to be in an empty arena.
Is this like the Russian warehouse fight?
This is a legit thing, apparently.
Oh, okay.
And this is because they are concerned of the outbreak of the coronavirus in Asia.
Well, I mean, everybody is. Worldwide.
Worldwide is, but yeah, so this is like old school WWE. We're going to have the empty arena match, but we're going to have a whole card of MMA in an empty arena. And they're saying that
dude, one's pockets must be so deep.
They didn't want to cancel all those fights.
Right.
And that's why they're continuing to do this whole card in an empty arena. Again, that's the King of the Jungle card.
You know what? I wonder if there's a way
28th.
to write the crowd part off on insurance. No, seriously.
Take it out of there. It's like less of a liability.
Yeah, it's like, look, we didn't want to kill a bunch of people. You know what I mean?
Also in the news with one championship, they are going to be starting a season of The Apprentice. The Apprentice ... one championship.
Can they do that without Trump?
Apparently, it's like a spin-off show.
What?
Like officially sponsored by The Apprentice.
Really?
Yeah. You get a chance. So if you want to work for one championship, you want to work in the wide world of mixed martial arts, you want to be someone
some interesting stuff
who can get yourself a $250K a year job working for one championship, go apply now. They're looking for guys to be on The Apprentice.
But you may only make that money 1 year.
True. Doesn't say how big the contract is.
Yeah, exactly.
Aljamin Sterling went on the Ariel Helwani show recently saying that he believes he deserves a title shot.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't understand the rankings, that they don't make any sense.
Nobody
that he
does.
doesn't even recognize half of the voting panel. We talked about this last week. I'll even put up a little infographic today as soon as we get out of here.
Don't feel bad, because when I say Aljamin Sterling to people, they don't recognize it very much either in the casual MMA world. I know, and I'm not trying to be a smartass or anything.
But this is a guy that at 135 should be getting a title shot for sure.
But I mean, the reality is that not a lot of people know who he is.
Ariel Helwani commented that he believes personally that half of those voters don't even exist. That they're just fake. And that,
are they bots?
And that in his opinion, it is that the rankings are for
He's been on InfoWars and shit.
The rankings are for show anyway and not legit rankings.
See, and we got some. Oh, it's hard to argue that, though.
It's hard to argue that.
It's hard to argue that.
I mean, they're still sending those guys guides on how to vote. That's for sure. That's for sure. They do. They send guys how to vote. I mean, not specifically, but like if A fighter beats B fighter, they should be fighting A, C fighter. They should be doing this and that. There's things that happen.
That's some stuff you heard?
That's some stuff I heard. Not to be outdone, talking about the rankings, Cejudo recently called out Aljamin Sterling, but used the term Aljamima, which offended, I guess, quite a bit of people on Twitter, saying that it was a racist term. Karen Bryant reached out to Henry Cejudo and said, look,
I like how she attacked
I understand where you're going, but you're better than this. Let's not use that term where it could be perceived as racist, because I think it is racist. Henry Cejudo then turned around and just said he wants to fight Jose Aldo.
Right. Okay, had it been used against, I think, a black woman, I think it would have been more offensive.
For sure.
For sure.
But it's still on the racist term.
We can't.
We're white.
We're white males. We can't say anything one way or the other.
It's still racist. I mean,
I know. You could say it is. And I'm not gonna say anything.
In more flyweight news, Ray Borg missed weight this last weekend. We will get to his fight here very shortly, but he did miss weight last weekend. This is the third time he has missed weight at 125. Fourth time all overall.
And then we heard that the voters on the rankings.
Sources tell us that he was removed from the rankings at 125 and only available at 135. However, the UFC has not made an official statement of whether or not he's moving up to 135 permanently, because Borg himself says he wishes to stay at 125 if he can get a proper dietitian and make sure that he cuts weight properly.
Okay, so the way that I looked it up, and through a couple of state licensing boards already, he has to move up.
He's supposed to. Depending on the athletic commission. If this is California, he doesn't get another shot. He's done.
Right. No, well, a couple of them. They because this how many times now? 4?
This is his total 4, third at this weight.
But still,
when he moved up to 135, he also missed weight there.
Yeah, he's just not good at it.
Not good at cutting weight.
No,
not to 125.
He should try to start the week at the right weight and not try to do it.
He was fined 30% of his purse, which went to his opponent again, and they had to get catch weight. But again, we were told that the voting panel was notified he will not be available for 125 rankings going further. When they went forward with this information, they said, whoa. We didn't officially say he's not going to be fighting at 125 ever again. Just you can't put him in the rankings. We will release that information when we're ready.
Which means we haven't talked to him yet, but this is what we're telling you.
This is what we're telling you.
Right.
Elias Theodorou in the news, becoming the first MMA athlete to gain therapeutic use exemption for marijuana.
What?
TUE, man. He's got therapeutic use exemption for marijuana. However, this is only by the British Columbia Athletic Commission.
Right.
So in Canada, anywhere he goes to fight, he has a medicinal use he's allowed to have. He was released by the UFC not too long ago.
But he still has to meet the USADA fight?
No. He doesn't fight for the UFC anymore.
Oh, okay.
His last fight was in December. He fought for Prospect Fighting Championship. So anywhere he goes in Canada that he fights, he does have TUE for marijuana. This has put a lot of questions and a lot of pushing the subject forward for marijuana use by athletes, and whether or not it's a performance-enhancing drug, and whether or not that some guys should be able to have it medicinally.
Well, I mean, it's coming.
It's coming. It's going to happen. I mean, we already have CBD allowed and a sponsor of the UFC. So at some point, I got to believe that they're going to be like, all right, you're right. It's not really.
It's not that big a deal.
It's not a big deal. And then a couple fight announcements before we get into our recaps.
And then both Diaz's hold belts right? immediately after.
A couple fight announcements. Mauricio Shogun Who will fight Little Nog Rogero Nogueira.
Who wants
for the
to see
third
that?
time.
Who wants to see this?
He does have 2 unanimous decision wins over Nogueira. One was in Pride, one was in the UFC. This is going to be a big fight in May at UFC 250, which is taking place in Brazil, which makes sense. You put 2 legends together that are Brazilian legends and have them
but
fight
2
in Brazil.
legends that are now like feigning goats. You know what I mean? Someone stomps the middle of the octagon. There. Oh!
Well, like I said,
That's my opinion.
Brazil needs, and then we also have for UFC 251 for a title, Shevchenko Valentino will be fighting
JoJo?
against JoJo Calderwood, who is obviously someone she called out and said that she has worked her way up. She believes she's next in line. That seems like it's going to be working out. There are rumors.
Crouching
and
Tiger,
everything.
Hidden
This
Satan.
is going to be 251.
It's gonna be good.
I'm excited
hope.
for that fight.
Yeah.
I do. I like that fight a lot.
My only problem is that Shevchenko's been really, how would you say, sharpening the blades, and I can't say JoJo's been doing much.
Okay. I mean, she's been rising in the rankings. She's been getting wins.
No,
but I can understand. It looks like Shevchenko at the weight she's at, where she's the title holder, she has definitely proved very dominant.
Right.
Very dominant. There hasn't been anybody that's had that wow factor that's been like, yes, this is definitely going to be a good fight. It's more like, this is going to be a good fight. I still think Shevchenko might win.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into UFC Rio. This was UFC Fight Night Anderson versus Blackowitz 2, UFC Fight Night 167, UFC on ESPN Plus 25. This is what we were talking about going into last week. This was all on ESPN Plus. We have, what do we got here? We got Ruan Pavia gets the win over Mark De La Rosa. And kicking off the card with a nice knockout in round 2. Macy Chizian gets the win over Shania Young. Mariv Devashuli gets the win over Casey Kenny. Devin Clark over Daquan Townsend. Scott Holtzman over Jim Miller.
Poor Jimmy.
John Dodson gets the win over Nathaniel Wood with a TKO of round 3.
How many finishes does he have?
He has quite a bit.
Dodson has quite a few.
Quite a few. We also got
I
Daniel.
felt bad when he was talking to everybody at the table when he came in at post fight. They didn't even bring him a box to stand on or nothing.
He's just like,
Yeah. Yeah. In Ireland, they wouldn't even, because, right, you have to have your shoulders have to be above the pub.
something. Yeah, they make sure.
Right.
He has, let's see, 21 wins, 10 of them by KO.
Yeah.
So that's
For their weight class, that's crazy.
That's pretty good. Daniel Rodriguez over Tim Means in a brawl, man. That was a good fight.
It was.
Really good fight. Tim Means did get the loss, though, submitted to a guillotine in round 2. On the main card, Lando Venata gets the win over Yancy Madreos. That was a good fight. I was excited for that.
Right.
I like Yancy.
I expected a little bit more from Yancey, but, I mean, it's hard. Lando's he's a pusher.
Yeah, definitely. Ray Borg gets the win, a little overweight against Rogerio.
Of course, man.
Borderin.
He used his massive midsection on it.
Brock Weaver gets the win over Kazula Vargas because of an illegal knee.
So there's the first DQ of the night.
Vargas hit Weaver with a pretty brutal knee to the face while Weaver's butt was on the ground. This wasn't like he was going down or maybe on a knee or kind of doing the 3-point stance thing that they're trying to get away from. He was fully on his butt when he got blasted with that knee.
That's what I was like, what? At what point did he believe that was okay?
Yeah, that was a little much. Again, Brock Weaver getting the DQ win with the illegal knee. You got Montana De La Rosa gets the win over Mario Ramiro Barella, a unanimous decision. And then in your co-main event, Diego Sanchez gets a disqualification win over Mikel Pereira, who was dominating the fight bell to bell.
Yeah.
Was just completely dominating Diego Sanchez. Diego Sanchez lately, a lot of people are scratching their heads about his new coach.
Just the whole
We'll get into it. We're going to dig into it right now. But just they're questioning some of the methods of the new coach and just the way that his fighting style has changed. And in my opinion, let's start at the beginning of watching this fight. Diego Sanchez's output wasn't much. Now, he went on Instagram recently and showed all the times.
Hey, he ran at him.
He ran at him quite a bit, but never threw strikes while running at him.
What do you call that, Wolverine technique?
Yeah, and Pereira was just the human highlight reel, just meme-worthy. I mean, he did the Showtime Pettis kick off the cage and hit Diego. He was hitting him with heavy knees to the body, broke 2 of his ribs by doing so. Mixing it up, just all kinds of flashy stuff. Now, Diego, again, put out a Instagram video this week showing all the times he blocked everything from Pereira, but I don't know. I question this. So anyway,
how did you get 2 broken ribs if you blocked everything?
Except for that one. He said, except for that one. And then again, after he
that one?
He got hit in the ribs, got 2 broken ribs, went down to the knee, and that is when Pereira tried to throw in another knee, threw a knee, hit him in the face. The doctor came in. They asked him if he was able to continue. Diego Sanchez, in his own words, said, "I had a veteran decision to make, and I said no, knowing I was down on the scorecards and didn't want to take any more damage as such, took the disqualification win."
Hey, just because you can talk doesn't mean you should. Sometimes you should just who's the one that is it Kukui who says it is what it is?
No, that's Max Holloway.
Yeah, Max Holloway. Do the Max Holloway. Just say it is what it is, and then shut your mouth. Because then
now
what we're about to talk about is this is when it happens. Because you open your mouth, you try to make something out of something that's it is bad. To take a DQ because you know you're down on the numbers, your own words.
Yep. I mean, you got, Chael Sonnen did a podcast this week about it, and he said, look, Diego Sanchez did the right thing. If you know that you are damaged and this is an illegal move, there's not many illegal moves in MMA.
Right.
And then illegal moves need to be harsher punished, I guess, at some point. Take a point, disqualification. This was a disqualification. He is right. He knew he didn't want to take more damage. He needed to make sure this guy understands that this is an illegal move and this is what happens when you make illegal moves. Take the DQ. But the fact that he continues to go on and say it's a veteran decision and that was smart of me to do and blah, blah, it's
just trying to make something else out of it that
worse.
It's not.
It sounds worse. In fact, during the broadcast, as they do many times, they go to the corners of each fighter and you can hear the audio of a coach coaching their fighters. It's kind of give away for MMA fans and listen or watching or people that are watching a way into the sport to understand kind of what's going on,
so
what adjustments are going to be made.
Well, you kind of feel like you're part of it.
Kind of feel like you're part of it.
Like when you're at NASCAR and you get to listen to the pits.
You get to listen. It's exactly, what I mean? It's something along those lines. So they were using some code words, and a lot of people thought it was just odd conversation that was happening. They were saying things like be drill, think of the shadow, be the shadow. If it gets tight and it gets sticky, take him down.
Dude, I'm using this shit in my bedroom, bro.
Ride him, give me some ride time, get on top and give me some ride time. It was definitely some strange conversations. However, I mean, when you're drilling something in the gym, you're going to come up with something that reminds you what kind of drills you need to do, right?
Dude, just the whole line of what you said, and then you're like, when they're drilling at the gym.
In the gym, I mean, you
know when you're drilling,
you come up with some sort of like, if it's a new technique, hey, remember you're acting like this or you're doing this. It's something so that they can shout it when they're in the octagon that reminds them.
At least you're covering it up, because I remember time in wrestling was like, check his oil. Check his oil. Fucking check his oil. Everybody knows what you're doing.
Yeah. Gotta come up with a new name.
Yeah. Ride time. I like that.
Yeah.
That's which is apparently check his oil.
No, that's just get on top.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
So, I mean, even if you dismiss some of the code words, which he said our code words shouldn't, nobody should like be mad at those, like they're for us. They're not for anybody else.
No, we're clampers. We have numbers. You know what I mean?
Give me number 2.
Give me
Chris Powers, you might not be listening. I want a number 3 right now.
Right now. And some joinery.
But the fact that he told Diego that he was winning the round and based on contact and points is a little questionable if you are trying. I don't know if you're trying to lie to your guy to be like, it's okay. You're going to be okay. But many coaches that were listening were saying, no, you need to be honest with them. You're down.
Yeah.
You need to finish this fight.
Yeah. Well, we have coaches that actually tell their guys, even if they're ahead, they're down.
Yeah. Just to keep them going.
Yeah. Just keep going.
Don't get fucking comfortable.
Don't get comfortable. You're down.
What
the fuck? No, you're down.
And he was down on
that was like a 10-7 round. You're down.
On the cards, or on the scorecards, they were looking at 2018. He was losing.
Right.
Pretty badly.
And everybody watching knew that.
They knew that.
I mean, when they asked him if he could continue, I knew he was going to take the out. That was the smartest thing to do, is take the out.
Yeah. He's been adamantly defending his coach. His coach is Josh Fabia.
Don't. People don't understand. When you rebut, you make it worse.
His coach and Diego have been going around saying that the media is biased. He blames Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier, MMA Junkie, that they're being bullied, that there's a conspiracy, there's a smear campaign after UFC Rio against Josh and his school, and how that he's ruining Diego Sanchez and he doesn't know what he's doing. And I don't think there's a smear campaign. I don't think there's a conspiracy here against Josh Fabia. I think you got veteran fighters that are like, what do what coaching method are you using? Maybe I'm interested. Maybe I want to join your school, but I don't know how it's working.
I don't know. And I could see like if this was 19-year-old Diego and this guy was working with him.
Right.
You know what I mean? But these are
Diego.
two grown-ass men.
Josh Fabia runs the School of Self-Awareness. That's the name of his school.
All right.
He is Diego's
he has no personal awareness apparently.
He is Diego's new coach, only cornerman and manager.
All right.
This has been since UFC 235 when he fought Mickey Gall. He won that fight. Diego Sanchez won that
but
fight.
we
everyone kind of knows that Mickey Gall wasn't necessarily in the best shape or training that hard for that fight.
And trust us, we hate excuses too, but we kind of know what was going on that week. We know what was going on.
And Josh Fabia is very upset that nobody was congratulating him on bringing back Diego Sanchez's career at that point.
No, like I said, give me 3 or 4 fights,
not
and
one.
then we'll congratulate
Not
you.
one.
If you can put up a consistent string using your method, then I could see you getting some sort of praise.
Right.
But one fucking fight, and then you got this, which was a shit show.
And well, not only that, but you had UFC 239 where he fought Michael Chiesa and lost horribly in the decision.
Almost the same type of deal.
Yeah, running at him, running around, not really throwing strikes. Everyone wondered what's going on with Diego Sanchez's thing. If you look into the background of Josh Fabia, he alleges that he's an Army Ranger.
Right.
Even though there's no records currently that exist. If someone could please find those, I would love to see them.
Because we're not going to say he's not. We're not going to say he's not.
I'm sure much of the MMA media, much of the MMA fan base, much of everybody would like to see if these are.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, some of you guys putting out stories this week, if somebody comes back at your ass, least bit liable.
Currently, no records exist of him being an MMA or an Army Ranger. Nor do
we can find as we've searched.
That's what I said. Of our searches that I can find, that he is not an Army Ranger, nor has he worked for the FBI, nor has he been a government contractor for special missions.
And everybody knows if you work for the FBI, they're never going to tell you
I
you work for the FBI.
feel like this is a little Frank Dukes. You remember Frank Dukes? Like the guy who apparently Bloodsport was a true story based on him.
Right.
That he wrote himself.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no one can confirm any of these things, but maybe someone will eventually. He is a Sistema instructor, which is allegedly a secret Russian martial art of systems.
Okay.
Which a lot of people online call BS on.
Yeah. Well, here in California, we call it El Sistema. You know?
And that he teaches class at his school in breathing.
Okay.
Healing.
Right.
And survival. Those are 3 separate classes. The mission of the school, directly from his page, is to help people who want to be of service to the world, which comes from first having empathy, compassion, and love for oneself by utilizing ancient wisdom and modern innovations.
He's a fucking Care Bear.
I feel like he's a snake oil salesman. Like, I have no idea what he's talking about. In fact, the UFC 239 fight, before he fought Michael Chiesa, the Athletic Commission was notified that, hey, there's some weird stuff going on in Diego Sanchez's locker room area. He's burning incense. He's shoving Q-tips up his nose, making him breathe stuff in. Come to find out,
they're snorting oil.
It was only peppermint oil. It was to help him breathe. That was allowed by the Athletic Commission. But then they wanted to.
Can you get off on peppermint oil?
I don't know.
I'm gonna check it out.
They wanted the commission to know that they needed to warn the commission that Diego Sanchez had been training a very deadly death choke that he may use in the fight, and that if it is applied for the safety of Michael Chiesa so that he does not die, we want the ref to call the fight immediately.
Is that like the shit pinch where you like pinch somebody and they shit themselves to death?
I don't know. There's like what's the dim mock, right? The death touch that you could kill somebody in blood sport.
Yeah, something.
And then they
Where
said,
are these guys in MMA? How come they're not coming in and killing people in the ring?
They said, we need to see the maneuver you're talking about. It can only be described as somewhat of you start in a guillotine choke,
right,
and then you rotate your shoulder and drop down, similar to a Stone Cold Stunner, or more like the Rude Awakening.
The Rude Awakening
from Rick Rude.
Right.
If you follow WWE, YouTube it. Maybe I'll put a GIF on.
We're just gonna leave Ravishing off.
Ravishing Rick Rude.
There
Excuse me. I'm
Let's
sorry.
Just stick with it. You know, Pixels. When Pixel watched this, if you didn't say Ravishing
Rick Rude.
He
is the Ravishing one.
He is,
or was. Excuse me. R.I.P.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Athletic Commission goes, okay, number one, you're supposed to have sportsmanship, you're not trying to kill anybody, but B, we'll take it into account. Immediately went to Chizzy's locker room, explained it to him, showed it to him, which everyone laughed at and go.
But I heard that there was some sincerity at the beginning.
We'll continue to fight him. We're not worried about this secret move. And obviously the secret move never happened. He did lose that fight. So it is very, very strange.
Well, that's not fair because he knew it was coming.
Josh,
what kind of coach tells people your secret move?
I don't know, man. I again, this to me personally, he sounds like and I'm apparently going to be a bully here. He sounds like a snake oil salesman. I do not believe in anything that Josh Fabia is selling. I feel bad for Diego Sanchez. I feel Diego Sanchez has, I don't know, wasn't getting enough attention over at Josh Winklejohn, which is what he said. He wasn't getting enough attention, and this guy just hooked him.
Right.
I'll give you all the attention you need, kind of situation. But I don't know. He doesn't have apparently he doesn't have a real building school, other instructors or anything. He's just there.
Hey, what are you gonna do, man?
We'll see. We'll see.
Someone
Anyway.
was saying an Edmonds 2.0. I'm sorry.
This is worse.
Yeah,
This is
well,
worse.
at least Edmonds person had some belts. You know what I'm saying?
True. Very
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
Also, then, okay, so let's jump back into the main event. Was Jan Blachowicz gets the win over Corey Anderson, knockout in round 1.
I'm not going to say I called it, but
Yeah, you did for sure. Corey Anderson definitely underestimated Jan Blachowicz.
I told you.
And
He came in, he was totally sleeping on him.
A little cocky.
Yeah, he was
And
already he was like, me and you, John. Me and you,
That
John.
low kick that he threw unprotected is what set up this
Yeah.
knockout. I mean, you should
And
know
don't get
better,
me wrong.
especially from a veteran
Yeah.
like Jan Blachowicz.
And Corey's got great moves, but you can't fucking leave your face wide open,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly. So, I mean, good for Jan Blachowicz. I'm happy you got the win.
Yeah, and I'm going to be honest. I thought it was going to come later in the second, early in the third. I screamed in my living room
When it was in the first.
when it was in the first. I was like, oh my God. Big Nips is down. Big Nips is down.
We have 2 Bellator cards this weekend. You have Bellator 239, which is going on today out of Oklahoma. This will be on the Paramount Network. You got Ed Ruth taking on the undefeated Yaroslav Armerosarov. Miles Jury, Brandon Gertz also on this card. Timothy Johnson, Valentin Moldavsky. Again, this is all going to be on Paramount Network and DAZN. And then you got Bellator 240, a.k.a. Bellator Dublin, going on technically tomorrow, which is today. This will be also on tape delay on the Paramount Network and on DAZN. There you got your main event. Lee McCourt against Judith Ruiz for the featherweight, women's featherweight. You got Charlie Ward against Kyle Cruz, Aaron Chalmers against Austin Chelm. Check out the rest of that card again.
Dude, Beck Rollins against Elna is going to be bomb.
Oh, that's right. That's at the bottom of the card,
and
right?
Beck Rollins, honestly, take a look at her right now. I think she's probably
Best
I don't
shape?
know, best body shape. And I hope fighting wise,
I want to see
it's
those
matched
hands.
up.
I want to see those hands.
Her at weigh-in, Beck was and everybody said the same thing. It's like she has her times, she has her moments. This is one of those times where you're just like, damn,
She looked good.
Yeah.
UFC Fight Night, Felder versus Hooker. UFC Fight Night 168. UFC Fight Night on ESPN Plus 26.
It's UFC Auckland, people.
Is going down tomorrow. Going down tomorrow. This is all going to be on ESPN Plus. You got Priscilla Cochachera going against Shayna Thompson. Laloma Luke Bunami against Angela Hill. Kai Kara France going against Tyson Nam. Caitlin Potter against Song Keenan. Jake Matthews against Emil Weber-Meek, who was getting chased by knives in his recent training video.
Yeah, there you go.
Jalen Turner against
That's the way you get down.
Joshua Cool. That's some like Tony Ferguson level shit right there,
that's
man.
the way to get down right there.
And then your main card, Kevin Aguilar going up against Zubara Tukagov. Brad Riddell against Magmedov Mustafaev. Ben Soli against Marcos Ruggiero de Lima. Carolina Kowalkiewicz going up against Jan Zion. Jimmy Crute going up against Michael Ole. I give up. And Paul Felder is your main event against
Gesundheit.
Dan Hooker at lightweight. This is going to be a good fight, man. I'm excited for the main event.
So what do you think about the stuff that came out yesterday where they're asking Paul Felder if he'd call himself the Irish Dragon in front of Connor, and then Connor goes, "You're a German something mutt, shut your mouth." I don't know. Because, I mean, Paul Felder can't beat McNugget, but what do you do? What do you do?
What do you do? So those are your fights. That is your recap. That is your news. Anything else you want to bring up? You got anything?
No, I'm going to be,
pretty much covers it, right?
tomorrow I'm going to be watching San Francisco. We'll be ringside at, I believe it's called San Francisco Combat.
San Francisco Combat.
It'll be in Napa.
Napa.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
You
so
and Pixels, right? Hanging out?
Me and Pixels.
Cage
I'll
side?
have to drink drinks with my pinky out because it's Napa.
Cage
and those
side.
who aren't in California, look it up and it explains itself real quickly.
That is it. That is for your show. Oh, as always, we are brought to you by healthlabs.com. Healthlabs.com, giving you fast, affordable, and private blood work for MMA fighters as low as $79. If you are a fighter and you want to get some blood work done, tell us. We will hook you up with this. Again, healthlabs.com. And as always, Dependable Solutions, dependablesolutions.net.
It'll be coming up here.
If you are a business taking credit cards and you want to save on your rate, possibly up to 75%, give them
70%.
70%. Give them a call. Have them look
Throw in
everything
that extra
over.
5.
They may be able
Dodge
to
will
save
cover it.
you.
Dodge will cover
They may be able to save you quite a bit. And of course, my MMA News and Walking Craft. That is it for the week of fights, the week of the show. See you next week. Get back to fight.
Later. And that's the difference. That's professional.